Oh man, you guys. In fact, that's probably a thumbnail picture right there.
Go, come on.
Just a quick programming note and reminder to you guys. We're doing a program every week, mostly, called The Trucker's Friend. It's where my brother Luke and I, on our podcast, Steady at the Wheel, we go in depth on these YouTube videos that we put on the Wild Wild West channel. And you'll learn a lot of things that you're not gonna realize or know from watching the video. We're on all the podcast platforms. You gotta go check it out. If you enjoy these videos and you enjoy podcasts or you commute or do whatever, The Trucker's Friend on Steady at the Wheel is gonna be for you. Okay, everybody, welcome in. Good morning. What a crazy, wild moment we're in right now. So I had all these plans to make this YouTube episode really I'm gonna think this out, I'm gonna explain this to everybody. And I jumped in my other semi with the belly dump to go get a load of gravel this morning from the gravel pit in town, because we're doing a little adding on to our place and they needed one more load of gravel at the house. As I get into the house, I get a call from our neighbor saying, your cows are out in your oat field, okay? And let me explain the oats real quick to you. But keep in mind, the cows are out in the oat field. From the drought, we're gonna go back in time a little bit real quick. I'll try to keep this as concise and gathered as I can for you. Just a lot of stuff to get through. So, with the drought being so bad the previous 3 years, all of our hay fields got just destroyed, meaning that a lot of the alfalfa washed out, died out, got sick. We had a great year this year, amazing record numbers, really sitting well. Just because there was that much moisture, everything that was left out in the fields just produced that well. So what we're in the years-long process now of doing is rehabilitating these hay fields, all right? And what that includes is you have to basically disc up the ground, tear it up, and then for a couple years you got to plant a different crop out there. And the reason for that is to help break that old sod and the old alfalfa, really tough old roots, and you want to really break those roots up good. And so that requires a couple years of doing a rotational crop, okay, something different. So what we planted this year, this spring, was oats. Now oats are nice because they grow up pretty tall and you can cut them for hay, and we wanted that ground to still produce. Well, as the time went on, we got all the rains and we put up so much hay that we're looking at these oats and we're like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't cut these oats for hay. Maybe we should let the oats mature and create an actual oat. You know, like oatmeal, like you eat oatmeal. That comes from oats, you know, ripe oats. Get back. Go! Yeah, now get out of the oats here. Okay, you guys, sorry, got cut off. So two things. Gives us straw, because we need straw for bedding, you know, in the wintertime, bed the sheds and stuff like that when it's snowy and nasty. And normally we have to buy that straw. And then the second thing is that it gives us oats, which are a grain that you can use to feed cattle. So one of the things that we used to do here on our place as an alternative source of income, hope you can hear me with this wind. I'll get out of the wind. One of the things that we used to do here I think it's worse under here. There we are. So one of the things we do as an alternative source of income is bring in kind of malnourished, poor cattle. We'd buy them from the sale barns. We'd bring them in and feed them up and get them in good shape and get them nice and happy and healthy. And part of doing that is they need a grain supplement. They need that extra protein, that extra energy that grain gives. And these little calves and cattle that were so run down and dejected get good and strong. Well, in the past, we've had to purchase that grain. We realized if we let these oats ripen, we'll have about 4 semi-loads of oats that we can put up and keep. So we're gonna have our own straw, we're gonna have our own grain, and it'll allow everything to just flow forward freely, right? Good thinking, huh? Our one downside is we do not have a combine. Fortunately, the neighbors, and we'll catch up with them. You remember the neighbors I was fixing a tire for them a little while ago. Anyway, they've got a combine, so they're over the hill there a little ways, a few miles. They've come over and they're just custom combining our oats for us. And I've got these hopper trailers, not because we farm and use hoppers for that, but I've got them for my trucking over the road. So that's kind of the outline of today, you guys. The big fiasco was that all these cows were out and all the cows were in everything and making a big mess. So the neighbors showed up to start combining, and they're like, hey, you got cows in the oats and cows in the haystack. Well, it all turned out that they had busted open a gate and they were jailbreaking. So let me give you a bird's eye view of what's going on. All right, here we are. So over there's the haystack. The cows were out in this pasture and they broke a gate. They got into the haystack. They got into the oats. And beyond the trees over there, yonder way, there's another oat field. They were in that. So Rooster's gone. That's the other catch to all this. Roll man Rooster's gone. Visiting family in Texas with my mom. So we're kind of shorthanded. Grabbed a little sister and all the kiddos, and we're getting everything out of here. These guys are combining. I got this truck out in the field, so now they've got some capacity. I think we're okay for a minute, but there's a lot of little things I still got to get done before we can go out and get some good footage and talk a little bit more about this. So y'all settle in. It is oat harvest 2023. Okay, so here we are. I'm trying to be a good farmer. I know you want the truck where the combine is always, and I'm slacking because of the cows. I need to get over there a little closer because he's about full and ready for me. Man, talk about being unprepared and just crazy. All right, we're working our way over. To make this even more, you know, just dramatic, right? Not on purpose. I've got a load of gravel sitting on my belly dump hooked to my Kenworth. I need the Kenworth on my other grain trailer because it's plumbed for the electric tarp on the, wait, maybe the other one's open already. You know what, if the other one's open already, we're just gonna go get the cab over and hook to the, we're gonna hook the cab over to the big grain trailer. I think it's open. I think we rolled it open. So, okay, that's one less thing you gotta worry about, y'all. What do you think of that? We've got a big ditch here along the way. There's a ditch right next to my truck that I can't cross. He's gonna have to come to here to unload, which I feel bad about, but there's no possible way to get a grain trailer across. Let's get a little shot of him rolling. They say that oat dust is the most nasty of all, super itchy. Barley dust is crazy itchy, and oat dust, so we want to stay upwind. However, wheat dust, not itchy. All right, he's got room for probably 3 more loads in that truck, looks like. Good thing about the oats are light, and we're bringing the oats into the ranch to put up in our commodity shed. So we can pile those oats high. I mean, he can rail them. We call it railing a trailer, just meaning you fill it up to the rails. Look who it is, you guys. So we're driving Big Papa, the one you know, the one you love, the sizzler of Cerro Gordo, the champion of all, the champion of, I lost it, darn it. The Big Pete, you guys, man, I tell you what, I'll be honest, I haven't really had the Pete out this year. I fired up regularly just to keep things, you know, charged up and good, but I haven't had like a trip for it, so this is going to be the first for the Pete, the first job of the year, really. We're gonna go hook it up to a pretty new Wilson grain trailer. I believe it's a 2021, but I've never hooked it up to this Pete. It's got gray sides. It's probably gonna look pretty sick. Not that we truck and do things based on looks, but obviously I don't do things based on looks, right? Oh, there it is. For all you lovers, woo! Got my hair up today. It's about 90 degrees out, by the way. So this is gonna look good. I'm excited for it. I was gonna hook the Kenworth up because of the tarps and all that jazz, but then I got to thinking, you know what? I bet the people out there viewing the old Wild Wild West would love to see Big Papa pulling some oats. See, there's the Kenworth over there, full of gravel. I gotta get that off and out of the way because we gotta set up an auger right there. I was gonna try to use Little Sister, but Little Sister's batteries are a little low. And so we're using the big dog instead. Oh, baby. Weed man. Everybody's wondering how you been, old boy. Yeah? How's football coming? You guys gonna be good this year?
Yeah.
How about them muscles? Let's see a flex. Come on, Fred. Come on, Fred. They want it. They need it. Move.
Which one is this?
Power should be this guy. Oh, actually, no. No. That one. Grody. Give her a big old spit. Oh, yeah. Atta boy. That blue to blue. Weeder. Weeder. Again. Just keep them, kind of hold them there. Plop her down. Atta baby. Rabbit. Everybody's been wondering about you. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah. How's volleyball going? Good. No, she's got her. She's going up. Okay, now pull that thing out of there. Pull that. That'll come off there if you just pull it. We'll stick it on here, and we got to shut these traps so we don't lose all our grain when we get out in the field. See? Stick it on. Okay. We'll see. Just try cranking it. I don't know. I can't remember which way is what. Kids getting her set up. Let me show you one of the biggest disappointments of all trucking history when it comes to grain trailers and livestock trailers, okay? See these lights? They're made by Grody or Groats, depends who you're talking to. I've always said Grody. Especially now after experiencing life with these little micronovas, they are worthless. Worthless, you guys. Horrible. One of the worst creations they ever could have come up with, and they put them on everything now because they're so small and they're so tidy. This one actually caught fire while I was in Georgia last winter. Got so hot somehow inside there, it melted and was oozing rubber from this grommet down the side of the trailer. Shorted out all my lights. On the cow trailers, they go out every trip, a new one goes out. Just total worthless. If you have the option to stay away from them, stay away from them because they are junk. Stick with the old school stuff. Sure, you can see them on the side of there, but they work and they last. Oh man, you guys. In fact, that's probably a thumbnail picture right there. Whew. I have not taken this combination on the road, but man, look how that cab lines up perfect with the top. Doggone. See, this is the problem with expensive diesel, you guys. This is why I'm not driving this cab over a lot. It's not even close to my most fuel efficient rig. And it's really hard right now with fuel prices being so high to justify hemorrhaging all that money unless it's for a special purpose, you know, maybe for a YouTube video here and there or something. But to just take it out on the road and run it, you got to have that $2 diesel for that. And at least for the time being, for the current election cycle or what have you or whatever, I don't think we're going to be running old Pete over the road. In fact, just give you a quick update, that truck is probably what will be hooked up to that grain trailer. I've decided I've kind of considered everybody's inputs and got a lot of good comments about, get some air built up here real quick. Everybody's comments about doing this series with that little T600 Kenworth, kind of a how do you get started in trucking and, you know, type of a thing. I want to do that. It's not going to be for a little while yet. I mean, for a fair bit, honestly. We've got the fall run coming up, and I've got a special surprise for you with the fall run this year. A special truck surprise. By the time the fall run is over, it's getting into the winter months, and I'm not probably going to want to take a unproven truck out on the road in the wintertime. Just then, once the winter starts breaking in those Midwestern and Southern states, I think that's when I want to jump in that truck. So it's going to be a while down the road. I will document between then and now. I'm going to do some very basic, cheap things to kind of begin that series. Like, hey, I got this truck. Here's some basic things we're going to do to it to begin to get it ready. All right, you ever wondered how a belly dump works? Here's the deal. They call it a belly dump because it dumps out of the belly, right? Flick the switch. Little trick I like to do too is I dump my, as I start pulling forward, I dump my airbags just for a short little bit. Because that load comes off, that trailer's so fast, your airbags on your truck can overfill. See, like these bags, when all that weight comes off so fast, they'll whoosh way overinflate. Little trick of the, I should say trick of the trade, but I don't really haul gravel by trade, so I don't know. It's just more of a thing that makes sense in my mind. And then, being that it's my place, if I was making rounds on the gravel, I wouldn't do this, but I don't plan on hauling anything here for a bit. Flip the switch again, right? Boom. Those things run on air. They're just great big old air-powered rams. I know. I just can't quit looking at it, right? You feel the same way? Whew. All right, we got the big dog staged, y'all. It's here. I think we have enough capacity in the other truck to finish that other side, and then they'll come over and we'll start working on this bigger field here. I wanted to just show you real fast though. When I mentioned about how you got to rotate, this is the kind of stuff you're trying to break up. See, this is just a big old soddy cloddy, and that will break up over time. See, it's full of dirt and things, and you want that to break up good. Just get the soil real nice and smooth. All right, everybody, welcome back to the old commodity shed. We got corn over here. We got canola screenings here. Some of these clumps and chunks that you see are from little seeps where a couple of the screws were seeping, dripping water down. I think what we're gonna do in here is just spread all this out on the floor, and we're gonna just dump the oats on top because we're gonna be feeding it all. It's all good, similar type feeds. Gotta get there's bags and salt and such over here, mineral. Gotta get those pulled out. I think I'm gonna have you guys, look at the A-team there. They've been so good today. See these big black chunks of corn stuff? Why don't you guys climb in there and pop that out? Lash, you got sandals on, so that'll be perfect. Y'all, I need a really good muscly crew, which is why, of course, I enlisted these powerful two. Muscly crew, powerful two. There's a rhyme and I mean it. We gotta move this auger. Dennis dropped his auger off. We gotta get it up and positioned into the lean-to. Think we can do it, Rabbit?
Rabbit?
Hey! Can you make a rhyme for us? This auger's pretty sweet.
And it smells like stinky feet.
Okay, Rabbit. I need someone real strong to push this auger along. Dads are the best.
All right, push. Nice. It's all about the bounce, y'all. Find that bounce. Lash said like a teeter-totter. Push. There we go. They probably want me to hang the camera up.
All right. Here's the plan. So, bring the truck in here. We'll get centered up right along this edge. That's where the auger will grab the grain. So, with this thing, clear up in the rafters. I moved the spout down so we'd have more clearance. With this thing up in the rafters, see, it'll make a pile clear up to there, basically. And we'll actually utilize our backstops and walls.
didn't give it enough time to screw it out.
Okay, we got the truck in. Let's get the block that up. I got this tarp out. Ideally, you would have a stub auger in here that you would slide under to catch it cleanly. We'll be just dumping a pretty good pile right here on the ground. It's gonna be a lot of cleanup and stuff to do later, but I don't mind. Give you an idea here before we get all noisy and loud. See, that's going to fall on there until it makes a big enough pile that it'll start sucking it up the auger.
Not too bad, guys. These oats kind of stick together and they don't flow out as much as some grains do. So we're not even making that big of a mess. It's all right.
Here we go. All that and all there. We can do it, huh?
All right, back hopper is done. We're on the front. Obviously 1, 2. Then we'll get back out there and get the cab over fired up. He's probably about got it full, would be my guess. It's good. We'll let this fill all the way up until it's spilling over the top of this. Spilling over the top. Keep pushing back. All right, so we're just getting back to the field here. Everything went good. Got a nice pile in that first bay. We're getting out of the field, and I don't know if he's gonna need this truck again, to be honest. I think he might get her all to fit in the cab over. I think he might even have it done. All right, just like that, y'all. Big John, Little John. We ended up combining 60 acres. We seeded just shy of 80 this year. We did cut some for hay early. Rooster kind of got the just got the curiosity bug and wanted to cut some to see what it was going to cut like. Comes to like 40 bushels an acre, which there we go. Which is not bad for what you'd call recrop, where we just tore hay out of here and put this in, and it got seeded. Like I mentioned, it got seeded late. So I mean, 40 bushels is solid, very solid. 30 bushels would have been like, meh, you know, 50, 60 would have been insane. But we didn't get this planted until it was into June a ways, I think, before we got it seeded. So that all being said, we're gonna end up with 2 big heaping semi-loads. These 2 trucks, 2 years apart, 89, 91. The golden age, wasn't it? All that's left now is the cleanup. A little shoveling. Ooh, mama. We'll get her done.
Good golly, Miss Molly. Whew, got her done, y'all. Got her done. This is the first official harvest ever in the history of us here having the ranch. The old wild, wild west. First time. In the 17 years here, we've never put up a kernel of grain. We had no idea what this shed would hold. Just no idea. About 2,500 bushels, I would say, total in this bay. They're identical size. That means that in a good year, like for example, next year, we're gonna probably plant twice as many oats because we're gonna tear up a lot more ground. So next year, we know that we can hold 4 loads of oats, which will give us freedom to do more cattle, whatever. Rooster's gonna be so proud because Rooster's been gone. He's been out of town visiting family. Like I said, he's gonna get home. We're gonna have all the oats put up. We're gonna have all the straw baled. We're gonna have all the rest of the bales gathered. It'll be good. You know what I'm gonna do right now though, you guys? This Hemiway e-bike continues to be a little gem. I've got well over 100 miles on it now and just doing her thing. So here's a good example. I got all this oats mixed in the rocks, right? Well, I can't very well put them in the clean commodity shed. So what I did was got a bucket full of oats and gravel, and that's gonna go over to the chickens because I can just dump that all out on the driveway and those little chickens will eat every little drop of it up. We'll tell you one thing I've learned. The key to this bike is strapping cargo tightly. Look at that bucket. Whew, she's skinny. Right there.